Brought to you by MSI Computers. MSI, #1 in gaming. Find out more at us.msi.com.
From Recore, we headed into one of the biggest bombshell quotes of this E3.
Incredible.
Your Xbox 360 games will be playable natively on your Xbox One.
Megaton.
Megaton.
That is huge.
That is absolutely
And
huge.
incredibly infuriating considering I just put all those games away. I'm so annoyed right now.
I think this is a fantastic initiative by Microsoft. It really is going to win a lot of fans over. Everyone and their brother have an Xbox 360, right? Everyone has it. Everyone has a massive collection of Xbox 360 games.
My sister's even got an Xbox 360.
Your sister has an Xbox. You don't even have a sister.
Everyone has one.
So, I think it's a great idea. There was a great dig at Sony, and I think quite a deserved one, because PlayStation Now is streamed games that we already own, like at a price, and they said you can play your old games for free on Xbox One. I think
that was a big shots fired there.
That is some shots fired, yeah.
We won't charge you to play games you already own.
Yeah, wow.
So that, of course, raises the question,
how?
Yeah, because you can't imagine them being like, yep, yeah, because they say, okay, you have your disc, put the disc in, download it to your Xbox One, and then you can play. But you can't imagine them just letting anyone with a game disc use it, because then
just passing it around
the used retail market becomes a whole different thing, and you could just pass it around, and I don't know. That's the kind of free license that platform holders have been really reluctant to give up in this generation of consoles. However, they were also reluctant to talk about any kind of backwards compatibility, and now we're seeing it implemented. So what do you guys think? How's
it's
this gonna
surprising
work
how
out?
far Microsoft's come from trying to lock down like the pre-owned market to this point where it seems like they're just completely opening
reversal.
the doors, complete reversal.
Complete
I get the
volte-face.
feeling that there's going to be some caveats that they just don't want to dig into because it would kind of
I
sully
disagree.
the moment.
I think they're going to be open about this. I think
Really?
I'm going to be totally cool about this.
I definitely think they're going to detail it and they're going to be open about it, but I think they don't want to go into the nitty-gritties where every game has a unique code that once its use is gone. Like, they don't want to talk about that because
the thing is that they're not going to make any money on backwards compatibility. This is never going to be about money. I mean, it upsells the Xbox One slightly, yes, but this is about fan service, right? This is about their engineers doing loads of software emulation on the back end so we can play our old games. This isn't about selling old games.
So do you reckon everyone will be able to just pass around the same game? And
yeah, I think that's going to be absolutely fine. I think a few publishers who are re-releasing digital deluxe editions going to be a bit annoyed that the originals are now going to be available on Xbox One.
Or they might just not make them available because they said it's not going to. Yeah, it's not going to require any more development to make it work, but it does require dev approval.
Right.
So it's not just the game
Some
developers
drama
or whoever happens to own that license needs to approve it. It's not just let's put everything out there.
So it was a bit like SharePlay, where Sony was like, "Oh, this is going to be great. You can just you can play games online with your friends all the time," and then every publisher went, "No, you're not doing that." No.
Yeah, really interesting to see how that's going to work out. That's Xbox One backwards compatibility with the Xbox 360. Wow.
Big.
Huge.
Then we've got to look at the Elite controller. The Xbox Elite controller. What did you guys think of that?
I was writing a news story at the time, so I was kind of looking up and down, and basically every time I looked up, the controller was just like in bits. So I'm not completely sure what's happening there. Someone's going to have to explain
parts.
It.
You can
that's
pop off the domed analog stick for the concave one if you want, or the D-pad I think was the most sort of eye-catching. It was that like little basin that had different angles, so it was like a little hole to sort of, or cave to rest your thumb in, and then move around from there.
I'll be really happy if either I have some kind of other bumpers that I can stick in there, or some bumper alternative, because the bumpers are the thing I hate the most on the Xbox One controller.
Oh, right, I see.
So I would really love to get something in there. But I think also something to note was that it says compatible with Xbox One and Windows 10. Like, it was right there on the screen.
Kind of takes the shine off Steam's new controller, right? If it's kind of got like, it looks like, for example, that bit there, it looks like almost like a mouse pad area. So if they could add that kind of functionality into it, it could kind of cross over and then make it more suited for PC play.
I am slightly amazed that if you could make any, but personally, if I could make any modification to the Xbox One controller, I would add in lithium batteries or like recharge abilities, basically. But this appears to be
Still have the battery case.
Yeah.
Still have the battery casing. Yeah, they're going hard on the battery casing.
It does look. I mean, there's going to be a lot of third-party, peripheral makers out there creating custom bits, and it's a good way to customize your own controller. Like I don't know, people love buying the Halo version of a controller. If they could just release like a Halo, D-pad or something like that, it's a good way for Microsoft and for peripheral makers to make more money and give people a chance to express themselves through their controllers.
Express yourself. Don't just put a sticker on it because it'll rub off. Also, it's got those tabs on the back. Have you guys ever played with a controller with these things? Because they're definitely in use in competitive circles, because it's a way to get more button access without taking your thumb off the analog stick to press the buttons. I don't know. Have you tried it?
I've never tried it. I mean, the last time I saw something like that was when Call of Duty hacking was a big thing, and people were adding in shortcuts in the back just so they can do weird, like 360 no scopes and that kind of stuff. But
it was extra buttons. That's why. That's how they could do it tomorrow.
I knew it. I knew I weren't that bad all this time. But I've never used it. But I'm definitely intrigued. Like it opens up the with more strategy games arriving and that kind of thing. It could open up a lot of possibilities with shortcuts and that kind of thing, programmable buttons. So it's definitely interesting.
Right on. Xbox Elite controller for Xbox One and Windows 10 coming sometime.